It's time for the N.A.M. podcast, featuring your host, Neil Anderson.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. It's the first episode of my local Artist Thursdays, and today we have Gregg Hart on the line. Gregg, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I met you a long time ago serving in the worship team at our church. That's how I met you. And you live up in Northwood, right?
Actually, we moved to Walbridge, which is the neighboring town.
Okay. So you're up still around the Toledo area.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So could you just tell me a little about your band or yourself, or what genre or experience you got with that, or whatever you're doing with that?
Sure. I actually have instrumental music under my actual name of Gregg Hart. I just released my 5th album. It's hard to place it into a genre because I've got 2 albums that I purposely wrote for spas.
Uh-huh.
So it was, kind of relaxing music.
Yeah.
Then my first album was written, and actually about half of it has been used in various films and, independent films. So it's got more of a film vibe to it.
Oh, wow. So it's a lot of instrumental stuff, you're saying?
Yes, all instrumental. And it's all keyboard, actually. Even though you'll hear guitars, you'll hear guitar leads and drums. It's all keyboard. I've got about 2 terabytes worth of virtual synth instruments that can pretty much sound like anything.
Yeah.
And then I have another album I wrote during COVID called Intricately Woven. And I actually wrote that because we all started working from home at my job. And
I think we all started working from home then.
Yeah, pretty much, right? So all my coworkers are like, I've got 150 some coworkers that were, getting antsy working at home. So they started sending pictures of their pets around just to kind of brighten people's days. Well, I don't have a pet. So I sent them a picture of my keyboard as a joke. So it all started from there, and they said, hey, can you play that thing? So I started writing 1 song a week until I came up with enough songs for a double album.
Nice.
Yeah, and then my current album, Home Is Where My Heart Is kind of fans of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra or David Gilmour, from Pink Floyd.
Nice, yeah.
Maybe Moby, and would probably enjoy this one. I've even got a Middle Eastern track that is kind of like a combination of a Bollywood style and Arabic.
Oh, nice.
And it's called World Traveler, and that's a fun song. But the album is set as a continuous mix. And all those genres, even though they're so varying, I got rock, hard rock, jazz, everything. It's a continuous mix, but it all flows together really smooth.
Oh, nice. I like. It's kind of like a concept album in a way. If you think
it is
about
a concept album, actually. Every song has something to do with being away from home, traveling, and then finally returning home.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it tells a story.
That's interesting, Gregg. I like stuff like that, and it's cool to listen to albums like that the whole way through. Like you're saying, you gotta listen to it the whole way through. So that's the only way to do it. And
absolutely.
Actually, I wanted to showcase one of those songs real quick. First up, he gave me a track called "The Daily Grind," so we are going to showcase that song real quick. Here's "The Daily Grind" from Gregg Hart. Hey, we're back, and that was great, Greg. That was amazing. So, tell us a little bit about the Daily Grind.
Well, as we talked earlier, this album's a concept album, and it tells a story without using words. That's kind of my the way I describe this album.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of this song is, we're stuck into a routine at home. We're either going to work or we're working from home, whatever.
Right.
We got our daily routine. It's what I call the daily grind. Just doing the same thing day in and day out.
Mm-hmm.
So this song kind of personifies that. It starts off, kind of intense. And then it, gets into a full, starts at, for those that are musicians out there, this is a more progressive song, progressive rock. Starts out at 100 beats a minute, and then by the time it gets going, it's 140 beats a minute. And then it ends with a really intense drone. It's about a 2-minute long drone with this choir in the background, just singing things like oohs and ahs and hallelujah and, just stuff like that. Because what that is kind of indicating, at that point in the song, it's kind of like, we got to get away from here. We got to go on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads into the next song, Taking Flight. So.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. That is awesome. That's just so cool that that much thought is going into just one piece of art, like just one song, and that's amazing to me. I'm like, I write rock music, so it's like, something about a girl or you broke up with somebody and you're falling out of love or something. This is a lot more intense, man. So that's really cool. You have another track here. It's called Home is Where My Heart Is. Could you explain that one for us a little bit before we play it?
Yeah, sure. This, of course, is the title track to the album. And basically, in the story, this is, arriving back home. It's always great to go on vacation, but I don't know if you're like me. Once you're done with vacation, you're kind of glad to get back home.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where this song is. I'm a huge fan of David Gilmour from Pink Floyd.
Who isn't?
And I think he's one of the best guitar players in the world. I think he's underrated, actually. But this song is very heavily inspired by David Gilmour. It starts off with a very clean sound, a clean, non-distorted guitar lead, and then about halfway through it kicks into this, full-on, upbeat electric guitar lead, and it's a 6-minute song of just nothing but it's a jam song. That's what it is.
Awesome. Well, here it is. Home is Where My Heart Is by Gregg Hart. everybody, we're back, and that was Home Is Where My Heart Is, another great song from Gregg Hart. Greg, can you tell us what's going on for the rest of the year here, or anything new coming up?
Sure. I also have another side project. Actually, technically, I have two other side projects, but the one of them I go by the name of MIDI Boy, as MIDIBOY.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone that knows music, MIDI is a language where one keyboard can talk to another keyboard, which actually, nowadays is one device can talk to another device. Like
right.
A keyboard can control lights, you know how it works.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Anyway, I got tagged to the name MIDI Boy by a bunch of coworkers at a previous job. I used to work for a company called N.A.M Multimedia, and I was the product team leader for a sound card, and I was pretty much the only person that actually understood MIDI, so they started calling me MIDI Boy. So I ran with it. I made a band out of it. And I just released a new album under that name called Restating the Obvious, and it's a hybrid rock. It's a full vocal album. Some of it's very heavy. Maybe for fans of people like Linkin Park.
Oh, cool.
Or there's a band called Red, sort of Red, but I don't do the screaming. That's just beyond me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there are some songs with some pretty harsh vocals, but it's very much along the lines of Linkin Park without the rap.
Okay, that's cool.
And then I have another side project which I'm getting ready to release an album called the N.A.M Project, and that is more of an adult contemporary, radio rock, if you call it that.
Okay.
Kind of along the lines of like a praise and worship rock.
Nice.
And the N.A.M Project, 1-9 stands for, it's based on 1 John 1-9, which basically, talks about God being faithful and just to forgive us our sins. So, and that's what that album comes from.
I like it, Greg. Sounds like you're a busy man and you're out there. So, do you play live at all ever, or are you just releasing music, studio albums?
I used to be in several bands, and life has kind of taken its toll. My wife and I have both had some pretty big medical issues over the last couple of years, so I kind of took a break from that. I do play live at my church still, on the worship team there, and I'm actually the tech director at my church as well. And so I play there about 2 to 3 times a month, but that's about it. I would like to get back out playing live, but right now I don't see that happening for a little bit yet.
Yeah, for sure. I was just seeing if you were playing your music out for anybody to come watch you, or if anybody wanted to see you. So if you want to just... Not
yet, although there is a possible opportunity I might be doing in April, but it's not set in stone yet.
Well, there you go. You might be able to catch Greg in April. Or you're just gonna have to get his music online. Where are you at online, Greg?
I have most of my music is available, on all the streaming services, and purchase, digital, where you can purchase digital music like Amazon, etc. I also have a Bandcamp page. It's Gregg Hart. It's 2 G's, so it's GreggHart. So gregghart.bandcamp.com, or you can go to my main website of midiboy.com, and that has links to all my music.
Well, there you go. You guys heard it from him. So we just want to say thanks so much to Greg for coming on the show today, and just sharing your music with us, and just sharing just your life with us. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, and we just thank all you guys out there for listening and just supporting local music, and we just love you so much, and we just thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. So I love you guys, and have a good day.